always like that?
It's never like that.
That is a clip from Everything, Everything, the box office hit based on the mega bestseller by Nicola Yoon. Yoon burst onto the scene in 2015 with a book that has now sold more than 2 million copies. She followed that a year later with The Sun Is Also a Star, also turned into a successful film, and even launched her own book imprint. Now she's back with Instructions for Dancing, about a young girl who can see into the future as she grows up in Los Angeles. That's where we met Yoon just before publication.
I love the fact that people here want to make art and have these big dreams.
As a kid, Nicola Yoon excelled at math, which helps explain why she eventually took a job in finance. She hated every minute of it.
My soul left my body every time I went into those buildings. Just like, you could see it flying away. And then when I had my little girl, I decided to really try, because I thought one day I was going to tell her, you know, follow your passions, have a big dream. And I wasn't following my passion at all.
By the time she ditched her investment management career, Nicola, who's married to fellow young adult writer David Yoon, had already been getting up at 4 a.m. every day for 3 years to write what became her breakout bestseller, Everything, Everything, about a girl with a medical condition who's not allowed to leave her house, who falls in love.
I like this room.
My mom built it so that I could feel like I was outside.
In 2017, it was turned into a movie starring Amanda Stenberg.
We're going really fast.
I'm going 30.
Can we go faster?
In some ways, Everything, Everything changed the face of YA fiction and film. Black characters, often sidekicks in Hollywood productions, are always the main protagonist in Yoon's work.
When kids come up to you and say, I'm not used to seeing people who look like me, or reading about people who look like me in books, and when they tell you how much that means to them,
Yeah.
it means a lot to you.
It does. It really does, because Maddie in Everything, Everything looks the way she does because my little girl looks like that. So I'm from Jamaica. My husband's Korean American, and so she's like this little mixed kid. And Maddie in Everything, Everything is also mixed.
Yoon's second effort, also a hit book turned into a movie, was The Sun Is Also a Star.
You met me yesterday. Get over it.
I don't want to get over it.
But you should.
I'm not going to get over it.
Part of falling in love is falling in love with yourself. And I make sure the girls in the books know that, you know, like you're not defined by this relationship, like you have to love yourself too.
Now she's written Instructions for Dancing, about a shy hero named Evie who realizes she has a chilling superpower. She can see how any relationship will end.
So Evie, her genesis is because of what was happening in my life. While I was writing that book, my mom was very sick, and my father-in-law was diagnosed with cancer, and he died. And so what I was thinking about while I was writing this book is, why do we fall in love? Like, why do we let ourselves love people when we know things are going to end?
Evie's love interest takes the opposite approach. No matter what's going to happen, he dives right in, living every moment in full. How much do you remember growing up in Jamaica?
I remember a lot. I was allowed to be whoever I wanted to be because, honestly, everyone is black there. And I remember the difference of coming to America. That was the first time I felt different, when I was 11.
Growing up in Jamaica and Brooklyn, Yoon never thought she'd get any of these opportunities. A chance to be a New York Times #1 bestseller on her very first try, and to sit on glamorous movie sets.
It's been just wonderful visiting sets. Like, they employ so many people based on my little book. I mean, that's amazing.
It's cool.
I got to show my little girl you could make art, and it could become this whole thing, right? Mm-hmm. For a long time, I thought you could not make a living making art. But I got to show her, like, you can make things and, like, you know, remake the world. And that was really, really wonderful.
I have to make a diorama.
After a year of mostly remote learning, Yoon's daughter Penny is now back in school. The family is back at restaurants, including the waffle joint just 2 blocks from Yoon's home that features prominently in Instructions for Dancing. How many times has Penny been there?
Penny basically was born there. No, I'm kidding, but we've been there a lot. And it was the first place we went to when we could finally go somewhere post-pandemic.
Did the pandemic change your writing plans or outlook at all?
Weirdly, it made me write more because it was like my safe space. So I wrote another book during the pandemic.
Are there different kinds of writing that you want to do, or do you feel like you're locked in and like this is your wheelhouse?
So the book I wrote during pandemic is an adult book. It's not romantic at all.
Oh.
My poor agent, she has no idea what's coming.
She will now.
She will now.
Heads up.
Yeah. And then David and I are working on a fantasy book together, actually.
Oh, cool.
And so that's been really fun writing because we've always wanted to write together. I'm Nicola Yoon and I wrote this.
I'm David Yoon and I wrote this.
Known for their fun social media videos, the Yoons are partners who share a combined passion, and along the way have found a combined millions of readers.
I would learn to see the beauty, I guess, in the journey rather than the destination. I love writing. I mean, it makes me really genuinely miserable sometimes. Like, I'm impossible when I'm in the middle of a book. But I love it. I don't know how else to be. So I'm sort of stuck with it.
I'm not the normal market for YA romance novels, but it's worth checking out because her work resonates so much with so many people and means so much to them, including you.
I mean, you know, you explained to me that teenagers aren't necessarily her audience.
Yeah, no, I mean, the YA market is generally, I mean, it's a lot of times it's people in their 20s, early 30s.
Or even 40s or 50s. How about that?
Yes. Young at heart.
She's amazing. I loved her, Jeff. Thank you so much for that.